Hello and welcome to Simulacra Studios presents Aeon, Trinity Continuum Aeon, Luna Rocks. I am your story guide, Scott, and here are all my players. Hold on, I actually have to hit the button. Yeah, there's the actual button. Hooray! So when last we left our characters, were in the midst of an extravaganza premiere bang show. We have Murphy, who is playing Hannah, kind of the backstage manager and logistics queen. We have Bram, who is playing we have Nigel playing Bram, our gang connected security consultant, also crime babysitter. And we have Frankie, the star of the show, played by our friend Diane. How is everyone doing tonight?
Awesome. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. Like I mentioned, you guys were at the tail end of your show. You've hit your big climax. You've frog marched out the Lads of Liberty or the Liberty Lads. You know, who knows how the rebrand's going to work. Who are trying to harsh your buzz. And Hannah had an encounter with someone on the VIP list. Very famous Muzzian Divana bang artist themselves by the name of Marty, a powerful and notable mention of the ISRA Clairsentient Psi Order. And there had been a bit of a moment when it seemed Marty had picked up on a few things here and there with their incredibly attuned psychic sense. And we will come right back to that moment where I believe Hannah had suggested that they go somewhere more private, and Marty had said that it might
Are you ready to be honest?
Are you ready to be honest? Thank you. And we'll come right back to that moment. How does Hannah respond to that?
Well, there's a she's briefly frozen like a deer in headlights, and but feeling obviously outraged, just nods.
Okay, and they motion for you to lead them away.
I will take them to the spooky room.
Okay. Frankie, you are in all eyes on you. You are in the depth of your moment. And I'm assuming like as the climax is coming down, you're giving and taking the energy that the crowd is giving you, like sort of diving into the interactivity of the moment, which
Oh yeah,
probably be
totally.
the best thing to be doing as a performer right now.
Oh yeah, she doesn't even know this is happening with Hannah. It
Mm-hmm.
has not registered. She is focused on the show first and foremost right now. So she is probably in amongst the crowd, basically helping them interact in a
Mm-hmm.
way, being kind of a guide on the experience itself. Um,
Yeah, and from the timing of the show, this is what people should be doing right now. Like it's definitely slowing down. It's giving people to kind of like have a calmer look at some of the more intricate things, and it's moving towards the point where people are gonna wrap up for the evening and make their way out. But there's a bit of massaging to do to get them to that point. So you're utterly enraptured in that.
yep.
Bram, you have just helped usher out the Liberty Lads. You have thwarted their attempt to mess with the buzz of the thing, and you've used a bit of psychic power to draw away some terrible device, and you've neutralized that. Where's your attention now?
Um, it
Frankie
was,
Frankie is like in the middle of a group of people, like
yeah.
so that is who knows what's going to happen there.
I'll say that my attention is split on the very physical,
Mm-hmm.
like practical, real world stuff that I've been doing kind of all my life on Frankie and her safety. But the metaphysical, the part of me that is newly awakened as a Psyad, is very much distracted by this Marty person.
Okay.
So
If you're
I'm
watching us, you'll see Hannah give you a please help look as I lead Marty away.
um and I'll just like kind of like curse, and then I'll try to reach out to Frankie telepathically.
So yeah, Frankie, you're in the midst of people around you, like, everyone's kind of in the groove. There's no one really trying to like monopolize your time. You're doing a very good job of ushering people to where they should be going, but it is taking a lot of your attention. So it is in the midst of this that you receive a little trickle of presence and thought coming from Bram, which you're familiar with enough with the sensation by now to know what that is.
It probably you're probably like kind of like I kind of see you like ringing the doorbell a few times before she fully notices, and then you probably get this. Basically, in person, she kind of takes over and does like a little bit of not talking, but just guiding
Mm-hmm.
through movement. As she's speaking in her brain, she hasn't quite figured out how to do both at the same time. And you get Bram, what is it?
I don't know what's going on, but there's this weird lady talking with Hannah, and Hannah's kind of giving me that whole deer out of water, fish in headlights thing. So, like, do you know what's going on? Who this person is?
Ooh. Uh,
And I will
describe
do the
them.
psychic equivalent of pointing, or like, because we're all on the floor, right?
I mean, you're at various like parts of the experience. I imagine like Frankie's up by the tree, kind of like showing people the intricacies of that, which is a little bit raised. You're probably down on the main floor, and then Hannah and Marty are near the back of the space.
Okay.
Um,
I'll do my best to give like triangulative coordinates through
mm-hmm.
telekinesis to her using telepathy as the bridge, just so she gets that instinctive level of, oh, I should look there.
Okay, yeah, that works. Yeah, you draw your eyes. Now, something I should probably describe Marty at some point.
It'd be nice.
Marty is very androgynous. It's they definitely have a masculine physique, but their facial features are fairly feminine. So they could be on either side of the line in technology, especially biotech and medical technology being what it is. They probably look exactly the way they want to look, and that they do go by they pronouns is indicative. But they are very dressed down. Usually, when you see this person, they are very much in Divana mode, like very extravagant, elaborate clothing, but they're very dressed down. But with a few moments of attention, Frankie, you do recognize this person because they are a celebrity in a field that you yourself want to be a celebrity in. So it's not hard to detect, kind of a peer in the industry, but definitely someone who's certainly much more notable and famous than you.
You probably get back an instinctual like thought process that comes very quickly of, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, they came. They're at one of my concerts. I was at one of their concerts not too long. This is one of my concerts. This is great. This is great. Why is she talking to Hannah? Oh fuck.
Hey, focus.
Uh, she's oh, goodness gracious.
Be thinking about it, and I put her on a hold and reach out to Hannah.
They're letting you lead the way. So however pace you want to make it, to make this conversation doable, is up to you. But you definitely feel the Bram's telepathic presence.
I accept it, and all you get back, or you immediately just get from me, they know.
Hey, who is this person? I gotta take care of them. What? So just say the word. Say the word, then I'll find them.
I don't know. And at that point, we're probably back in the room where the scrubbers
Right.
were. Or I take them back to
You want me to go
direction.
down there? What are you doing? What are you doing? Hey.
It's at this point that I will note that the three of you are aware that you still do have another VIP in the space, that being Pisha, a representative of the president. They're firmly ensconced in the VIP, like roped off private bar area of the space, where they have a good view of everything. But It is my duty as the story guide to remind you that they are also here. So yeah, you get back, and what is everyone doing?
Does Bram? You probably if do you come back to Valentine at any
I,
point?
I do.
You probably hear her mid sentence of, "Bram, don't you cut me off? I was in the middle of Bram, Bram."
I'm sorry. Look, I'm working on it. All right. Look, she's gone down with that person to the scrubber room. But I gotta stay up here to make sure nothing happens. You gotta do stuff. I don't know. Did your cousins come? I am
No, they didn't
discombobulated
come.
as hell.
Yes, you are. No, they didn't come. I specifically had Daddy tell them not to. But
Okay, that's
you
right.
need to keep an eye on Hannah because that person is psychic. That's one of the ones that was like created.
Oh shit. All right. But
So
look,
she's
I'm
a
gonna keep.
she's a bang star though. Like she's in the industry. Just I need you to keep eyes on Hannah in case they try to take her. It may just be a conversation. I don't know.
All right. Look, I'm gonna keep this line open. So if anything happens and you need me, just call, okay? Or think or
Okay.
whatever.
She gonna use this.
I'm gonna pause for a second to review that ability to make sure
Also,
that
like,
it can be as flexible as you're making it. I do not think it is because
I'm
it is a very
I'm
basic
not
idea.
keeping. So I'm not keeping it. I'm literally keeping the connection with her, and I am using it with her. Does it need line of sight?
It's within medium range. I will say
Okay.
that basically anywhere in this space is medium range.
Okay.
But here's the kicker: it only lasts for psi rounds.
Shit.
So this is you have to constantly renew this.
Okay.
So a round is approximately 6 seconds. I believe you have a psi rating of 2.
I do.
So yeah, you basically have to renew this ability every 12 seconds. Luckily, thought moves very quickly, but from a sense of like monitoring someone during like a long conversation,
Yeah.
difficult. Like it requires a lot of attention to do.
Okay.
Look.
And you cannot be a switchboard. That is
Right.
a one dot mode power that you do not possess. You could try
Well,
and push yourself to
that was what I
establish
was
that
going to
power.
ask. Is in this moment of desperation, can I try to just blindly grope out to see if I can do that?
Yeah, go ahead, and it's going to be because you don't have the power. It is going to be just your psi rating to roll, and it's going to be at a +1 difficulty, and you have to spend an additional psi point.
Fuck.
You
Okay.
currently have 4 momentum.
I was
Because
going to ask, how much
Before-
momentum can I take?
I don't care. Leave one at
2.
least.
I'll do 2 then. So I'm rolling 4 dice.
Okay, so you have to get 2 successes to do this.
All right, heart of the cards. That's 1 success.
Whew, okay. That is not quite enough to do it. I will let you succeed at a cost, though.
Do I know what the cost will be? It's better that I don't.
Yeah, it's better that you don't.
This is a moment of desperation. I will say, if it's anything like, I'll push. So yeah, I'll kind of bear down and just literally like physically bear down all like 6.5 foot of me and just kind of curl up in myself as I force myself into this new higher mode.
Okay, yeah. You force down, you push it, and then you feel, all of you feel the presence of each other's minds. And like you can freely communicate with one another.
As soon as that happens, I do accept it, but I'm kind of looking back at Marty as I'm leading them back into the maintenance space to see if they act like they notice or react, and then
Give me an empathy roll.
yeah. Ding dang. Good at. Need some more D10s. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3.
And given what you said about having to spend an extra point, normally I can commit 1 point, 1 side point to keep it up indefinitely. So I take it that means I need to commit 2 side points.
No. So you have to commit 1 side point, but you have to spend an additional. So you have to basically you spend 2, but only one of them is committed.
1 success. 7 dice. 1 success.
They are very poker faced. If they can detect anything, or if they're picking up on anything, they're not through their face or their body language. They're not communicating that to you.
What the shit is this?
It's and like you hear the telekinetic like exhaustion coming off of him. It's a thing. It's a thing. We can all talk now. Just it's like before, but now it's like with everyone. You, me, and Hannah. Oh Jesus.
Yeah, all you get for Hannah is Marty clocked me. Gonna go talk.
You
And then,
need me down there?
Unclear. Probably safer not.
All right. Just holler if you need anything.
Yeah. So
Varian, did you? I don't know what the fuck you just did, but you sound real tired, and I really need you to look after Hannah right now. She's the priority. You and her need to get out no matter what. We can't let them take you guys in.
We'll be fine. And if we'll be fine. Just I gotta keep. We'll be fine.
So yeah, I mean, you do guys have your crew here, and they are handling a lot of security detail. So you know, so it's not like the show would be completely abandoned if you were to move your focus.
What was the president's person's name?
Pisha.
You just keep an eye out on Pisha, okay? I'm gonna go down again. If you need anything, just holler.
Noted.
So
No, I'm kind of I'm just looking at Marty expectantly.
Noted. And then she goes, remember, they can do what you can do. Understand that. Probably more skilled than what you can do, which means nothing is secure. Not even your brain. You can get into mine just fine.
I know. I also got 20 millimeters. Says I can take care of them.
Look, all I know is that you and Hannah are the prior to get out of here if shit goes up. I will be fine.
Burn that bridge when we come to it. And
Do you
with that,
understand?
I walk down. Yes, I understand.
all right. So are you going into the room with them, or are you like staying outside? What are you doing?
I'm going to stand at the entrance to the room.
Okay.
But I'm not going to go down yet.
Okay. So you're fair. I mean, and you guys know this space. There's no in and out of this room. This is a one entrance room that you're dealing with.
Right.
So unless they have teleportation abilities, which
you know, we don't
who
know.
knows? That is a thing that scions can do. That there is a teleportation psi aptitude and order. Anyway, so we'll move into the scrubber room, and as you come in, they just kind of take in the room, giving you a little bit of time to have your telepathic tete-a-tete, and they go over to the scrubber that you guys have like had to deal with, and just sort of trace their fingers around it and kind of like grimace and wince a little bit.
We killed the aberrants that were in there. I don't think we need to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, good. These things do leave their traces, though, especially if you're sensitive.
Indeed.
Right. So I'm gonna make this easy on you because I'm not here to give you a hard time.
Well, that's a relief.
I'm gonna tell you what I can pick up on. I can tell that there's some psionic activity in this place. Somebody's throwing stuff around. Picked up a little bit of telekinesis, a little bit of telepathy. I'm pretty familiar with clairsentience. I might be talking nonsense to you. I might be talking anything. And I'm pretty sure that I can't detect any active users in the space. I mean, you know, everyone around here reads like a neutral to me. So something's going on. So if that's news to you, then I don't know. Might be something talked about with your security. Might be something to look into more. But I came to this place for 2 reasons. The first, I got your invitation. It sounded like it might be a banger. And it was. Great show. Well, I certainly have business to talk about later. But the second reason was that I got a note from my old man. Well, not my old man, the old man. Proxy Earthog. And he just told me that I should go. That I should check this place out. And, you know, it's not like I think he's some sort of a, you know, savior or God or anything, but, you know, kind of like the word of God coming down. When you get that call, you listen. So that's what I know. If you know more, then maybe we can piece this puzzle together.
I mean, those of you who are connected to your hand and being like, what do I do? Honest or deceive? Well,
This is your choice, girl. You need to figure out what you want. What do you want to tell her? Do you want to let someone in? Do you trust them?
that's a good question. Can I? Because I don't actually know this person besides seeing their music, seeing them at the show. Would it be like something like empathy or culture or something to kind of get an idea of like just a feel for kind of what I think their intentions might be?
I mean, for their intentions, empathy, yes. I mean, something like culture would be more of like their reputation, or you know, like what they've been, how trustworthy they are in the public sense. But for like directly reading their intentions, that would totally be empathy.
I will roll an empathy roll just to see if I can get a feel for what they're on, what kind of danger this is. Oh yeah, I actually still have some dice, some enhancements.
That's true.
Hanging
Yes, you
around
do
with
have
that.
you can apply your enhancement from your Dakir roll earlier
Yeah.
to this roll.
Yeah, I guess specifically I'm trying to get a feel for how dangerous it would be if or like how much of a can of worms would it be if I just tell them, I won't tell them about Bram, but tell them about me. And that is 4 successes.
4 successes. Okay, and then with your with your enhancement from Dakir, that gives you like you kind of reach out with your sort of your natural sense of people, and then you feel yourself bolstered by that clairsentient wave behind you. And you think that this person is as trustworthy as you think anyone can be. I think that you think that this person is, a luminary of the community, both in terms of the Bang community and, a scion of the ISRA. But more than that, you just have this deep sensation that this person would not do you harm, would not betray you, unless it was like supremely important to do so.
So yeah, after a long moment then of having looking at them and having a quick think. Like kind of nod and like, you're right. It's not exactly a surprise to me that there's some kind of some psychic activity going on here. I don't really know what to tell you or what exactly you're wanting to know, but it's not a security problem.
Okay. Because I knew someone a long time ago. I had a mate who could pull that trick, who was a scion and could mask themselves. They died with the rest of their order, but something tells me that that's not the situation here. I don't think anyone here
All
is a
right.
quantokinetic.
I don't think so, but and then I just dropped my my cloak.
Okay. They kind of will open their eyes wide for a second and kind of nod and say, right. And then they kind of like do a bit of a double take. They focus on, they like,
It started pretty recently, so I'm not extremely in the know about what this particular situation is.
I've heard rumors, and I think I might know the shape of it. This is okay. Okay. Right. Okay. So you never went through the chamber.
Nope,
You,
happened. Was it their Muzzian show we were at?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Actually, it kind of started up at your show last week.
Okay, that makes sense. I felt something, but I was distracted. I was in the middle of the show. Okay, so it started then. That's crazy. That's really crazy.
It is.
And I'm assuming there's a reason that you didn't go to the order or check with anybody who might know a bit more. I can think of a few reasons why you wouldn't, because people might react
An
bad.
anomaly. It's a little scary. You don't know what somebody might want to study on you or what might happen.
No, I hear you. That makes sense. I understand.
You're not like gonna report this to higher ups, are you?
I don't think I am. Because when I came here, I saw something about you and your friends. I saw that you've got something to do. You're gonna kick over some anthills, and it could be very good that you do.
If you saw all of us, want me to call the others in here once Frankie's wrapping up? Save us all a little time and over the link and just like, well, I told them about me. Bram, whatever you do is up to you. I think they're on the up and up.
I think I'm gonna dip pretty soon. I think it might be for the best that I don't know more than I do right now. And that's for your safety more than mine.
Appreciated.
Right. So I'm not going to turn you in. So here's the thing.
Wait, am I like illegal or something?
No. You're not illegal. It's not a bad thing. It's just a different thing. And there's rumors. There's people. I think Aeon might know more than they're saying about folks like you. And
so I'm not a total anomaly.
It's very odd. And I got to be honest with you. There's no secrets from the old man.
I see.
He's got to know something, and there's a reason he hasn't told anybody. So it's not, people don't really report things to him. because it's kind of assumed that he knows. If he calls you in or if he sends you a message, it means it's important that you know he knows. It's a big tangle, but yeah, I'm gonna dip. Don't tell me anymore. You got my contact information. I'll definitely flag you and whitelist you in my system. So if you need to get in touch, you can. I just gotta. Yeah, I'm gonna head out.
All right.
But know this: something's gonna come. It's gonna come, and it's gonna hide somewhere you already know. And if you can get your hands around it, if you can shape it the right way, then I think you and your friends might be able to do a lot of good.
Hannah just looks perplexed and like,
If I could tell you more, I would. It's not. I'm. You might know that this is a not
it's
not
not.
an exact science.
It seems very metaphorical.
Right, right. So I'm gonna dip out. You can tell your friend outside that he can rest easy.
I nod. Like, well, sure was nice meeting you. I think.
And they kind of make their way back to the door of the scrubber, open it up, and kind of wave to you, Bram.
Yeah, as they open the door, I'm like, just let them go, Bram. It's fine.
I'll take like just a long moment of just kind of looking at him, and then I'll step to one side.
And they kind of make their way up and just sort of blend into the slightly thinner crowd now. There have been a couple of people who've kind of tapped out and seen everything that they're here to see, but it's still a pretty healthy crowd. And make their way out through the exit door.
After a couple moments to collect myself, I'll follow them back out and try to resume keeping an eye on things out here.
Yeah. The rest of the night goes pretty uneventful. You get everybody to see everything that they should see. Get everybody safe and home. Deal with a couple of stragglers here and there. But the night winds down until it is eventually just a handful of patrons, your crew, the three of you, and Pisha is still up in her little VIP nook.
So during
That was
this
awesome,
time
Frankie.
Mm-hmm.
that you guys have been basically like
Mhm.
dealing with all of this, Frankie's probably the worst person to be in their brain right now because you're getting things like, man, that chick's hot. I wonder where she got that top at. I wonder how I would look in that top. And that's probably like an
Not
image
a chick,
you're
yes.
imagining
Probably made it
herself.
themselves, and you'd look great.
Right, you're getting things like this the entire time. It is very clear that Frankie is a very sexual person. But oddly enough, it's never thoughts about taking them home. It's just her appreciating what they look like, um, and being flirty just literally to flirt. Like it is obvious when because you have the inside of her brain going. She's literally judging people. It's never malicious, but she's always like, they can't handle this. They can't handle this. They got scared the moment they looked at me. They can't handle me either. So it's just this like she's looking at people like seeing, is this person gonna be able to handle me? No? Well, fuck. So at the end of it, you get a very like frustrated, like noise from her, and then she's just kind of like whatever, and she just kind of like leans back and she's like, all right, so are you guys still in my head?
I think so.
Oh, that's awkward. I wasn't thinking about no one naked.
You all right, Bram? I didn't tell. I didn't tell about you.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm still fine, I think.
Are we gonna have to go talk to her?
No, they left.
Not like
Oh,
her
patient.
her.
Oh, yeah, your thing. Right.
Wasn't my thing.
Well,
You do
y'all's
kind of
thing.
outrank us all in terms of, you know,
Look,
Oh wait,
President's not
no,
really a
they ain't
concern
supposed
for
to know
me.
that you know, because I wasn't supposed to tell you. So I guess it
I
was
mean,
me.
I could probably recognize her if she's well known in the community, but again,
Trying to be
not my
polite to make
area.
readings.
This isn't my shit. This, like the performance is my shit. This is Viking territory, ain't my territory.
No, that's right. And you feel the psychic equivalent of him slapping his face. All right, okay, cut.
Do you
Game
want me to
face, game
back you
face, game
up?
face. And I go up to
Ooh,
Pisha.
picture her naked.
What? And I start doing that like just automatically.
Hey,
So yeah,
Just calm you down. It's fine. I'll be nearby. Just call me if you need me.
so you head up. She is very well ensconced. It seems like she's very comfortable with staying still and watching for very long periods of time. She's had one of your server people here keep her scotch and soda at a relatively stable state, um, and she takes her eyes away from the crowd for when you come up and say, "Hello, Abraham."
How's the evening been to your liking? I hope the roughs who came by earlier weren't too disruptive to your enjoyment.
You're talking about the young fascists.
Yeah,
No, I have no concern for types such as they.
it's good to know. Uh, can we get you anything?
She says, "No, your bottle service has been adequate."
Good to know. Yeah. I don't know how much longer you're planning on sticking around, but it's about to wind down. So I don't know what sort of transport or escort that you might need, but uh, if anything like that needs to get arranged, please do not hesitate to let me know.
Well, your offers of hospitality are appreciated, but I have everything like that handled. I'll be leaving momentarily once I have satisfied the curiosity of the organization.
What did I tell you about the show? They're pretty good, huh?
I suppose it is not exactly my experience. I was, in my days, bang meant something different, and it has changed. And I was a very big fan of what it was, and I can appreciate what it is, but still not my thing.
Hmm. I never really heard of it until I started having to deal with these kids. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's wild. I listen to music, not really my thing, but if it's there, I'll listen. But this is different. It's real different.
Yes, is the what they call these days the anima generation. They are get their hands on everything. But no, I thank you very much for your concern. I think so long as you say things are wrapping up, yes.
I believe so, and I'll check my non-existent watch and do
Hmm.
just a quick psychic ping. Like, hey, is this wrapping up? Is this like time? Or are we just gonna kind of wind down? How do these things end?
People
well,
leave.
I probably already got to push broom out and sweep it up the floor.
Like,
Yeah,
Usually,
once you guys sort of give the signals, like doing the push broom and getting people, the crowd here is like, there are some people here who are just stoned out of their minds,
Sure.
and need a little push. That's probably the lion's share of the people who are still here. So once you start doing that, like your kitten herders go into effect and start like scooping people up and ushering the
I
rest
hope
of
you
them out.
enjoyed the show. Get the fuck out.
Exactly.
I don't say that.
But yeah, so very quickly, in short order, the rest of the patrons head out, and your crew is just sort of like waiting on you to give the signal to start the breakdown.
Yeah,
once the
I'll
majority of
report a
people
picture.
are done, then she will give the signal.
Yeah, so yeah, they start securing things, start unplugging things, start getting things ready for the big push. Because basically, everyone's tired, so they're basically going to get it into a state where it can be more easily packed up and squared away in the morning. But yeah, so yeah, seeing these things happening, Pisha stands up and says, "Very well. This has been an interesting evening. Very interesting. Um, I believe I noted you had a celebrity here earlier."
Yeah, I really don't know him, but somebody on the VIP list, and uh, yeah, apparently some other bang star. I really don't know.
I see. I see.
Do you know who they are?
Of course I do. They are a person of note. It's our organization's one of our organization's key principles is to be aware of every scion operating within our field of influence.
That makes sense.
But thank you for the check-in. It was within protocol and hospitality. I believe I'll be making my way home, and hopefully we will never meet again.
Fingers crossed. But have a lovely evening, and I'm glad that your experience here was a pleasant one. Good night. And I'll walk away.
Um, yeah, she stands up, goes down to the floor, kind of gives one last look around before locking eyes with Frankie and just giving the briefest of stare downs. How does Frankie react to that?
Um. Oh, Frankie doesn't like being challenged, but Frankie also was told by Daddy to play nice. Um.
He's also not dumb.
Frankie's not dumb. Frankie, of course, looks away first. Basically, does exactly what her daddy taught her to do in a situation where someone who could snap their fingers and kill you in an instant, you treat them with respect, and that's what she does.
All right. Satisfied, Pisha heads out of your space. And then it is just you and your crew.
Ooh, that was quite the thing.
So, she's kind of like comes over and she starts hanging on Hannah. So, tell me what happened with Marty.
Oh, well, they
Is she like okay? Is she like in the know? Is she like cool? Like cool,
yeah,
cool?
yeah, yeah, I think said said their proxy Erzog sent them here, um, and picked up on I think a little traces of me and whatever you got up to, Bram.
Hmm. Sorry about that.
Oh, I think it's all right. I let them see what I was, because I kind of think it's their fault it happened to me anyway. Um, and it wasn't as much of a conversation as I thought. They said we're going to kick over an anthill and might be able to do some kind of real good, cryptic stuff.
Well, I
And
mean, if
said they didn't want to know any more about us.
huh, okay. Well, interestingly enough, I've heard that, how do I put this? So, apparently, what I've heard from some sources is that what really happened, like whatever happened to give all these proxies their powers, happened here on Luna. So it's, not surprising that, more of the rumors are coming true here on Luna. Luna is the key to this whole damn thing.
Yeah, they said even in their order there's rumors about people like us, spontaneous psychic types.
Like more than that,
So,
how do I put this?
but that was all. Hmm.
Okay, so
I got their contact info if we need to get in touch with them, and
right.
I don't know.
how do I put this? So you know how they basically said that, they created the Prometheus chambers and all that crap? You all Okay, so here's the big thing. There's benefactors for this. They've never mentioned any kind of benefactors, but they're totally benefactors
What, like
that are
rich people or aliens?
people who are basically the ones that, I don't know, they helped make the chambers or are, something related to them. It's all a bunch of like half things I keep getting. But the last time I heard is that, it's interesting you're talking about that proxy. They didn't mention like proxy Larson, right?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay.
Nope.
Because right now, apparently proxy Larson is all about giving Aeon like some business, like big wig business times going on over there. So
I have no idea what that means.
I don't
I have
either.
no idea who you're talking about.
I
These
mean,
are notes that come across to me.
I will say, like, the names of the proxies, the Aeon Trinity, like the Psi Orders, these are all very well known names. Like, you could not escape knowing basically who these people are.
So could you give us a quick 101 on it?
Sure.
Bram knows.
Hmm.
I do not. Nigel does not correct what Bram says.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Um,
Hannah does say it's kind of a big deal if Proxy wanted to know about us.
yeah.
Oh,
So yeah,
Alright.
like Proxy Herthog, his name Otha Herzog. He's kind of like the biggest. In addition to being the leader of the ISRA Psi Order, he is a very notable secular spiritual figure. He doesn't claim to be like be divinely inspired or to be a prophet of any sort of religious sense, but his teachings are incredibly influential all throughout human space. Proxy Larson is the leader of the Legion's Psi Order, which is a branch of the United Nations military, in addition to being the Psychokinesis Psi Order. Aeon, the Aeon Trinity, is this very old, like 200-year-old philanthropic non-governmental organization that has, through a combination of apparently like expert knowledge, like consistent funding, has sort of guided humanity through some of its roughest patches, and nowadays works to basically be kind of like the spine that holds human civilization together. So they're very well known as like they're not exactly a government, but they are as powerful and influential as any given national government.
Sort of a benevolent Illuminati thing.
Kind of a benevolent and melodic thing. At least that's their image. So yeah, that's what's generally known about all that.
Okay, cool. Because I was going back to my
Yeah, I know.
secret K thing, and the reason why I haven't acted on is because I've been like, I don't know what this means.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna blunder my way through it.
Sounds good. But yeah. So yeah, your crew is getting things sort of set up and ready for the big teardown tomorrow. They've got pretty much everything set up for that. So they're kind of like giving you all like the look of like, are we off? Can we head home?
And I nod. Thanks, guys. That was awesome.
All right. So yeah, so you guys are alone in this space. Like a lot of the lights have been turned off. Like I basically say that you guys have like sat yourself in the little VIP alcove while you're having this conversation.
So is everything cool with and I kind of point back into the VIP alcove and look to Bram.
Like, so we shouldn't talk here.
well, I mean,
All right.
Oh yeah, we're still in brain space. Never mind.
Actually, oh, were we not doing that out loud? Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm just saying. Remember, this whole place has been videotaped
Yep.
the entire time.
Well, we can go back home for
oh yeah,
a
no, we
nightcap
can.
before turning in.
Yeah. Let's go back to y'all's place.
You see Frankie casually like reaches behind the bar and grabs a bottle of liquor and like starts sipping from it as she's kind of like swaying on her way out towards the door.
Yes, you guys are gonna head back to your crash pad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You guys basically, you catch one of the 24/7 tram lines that are running all over Luna. It's pretty late at night, but that doesn't really matter because you're on a big rock in space.
Might last a long time here.
Hannah, have you edited that stuff and posted it yet? So we can spin the whole Liberty
Oh, from
Badge
tonight?
crap? Yeah.
I will start on it when we get home.
Awesome.
So yeah, you guys head back. You guys kind of head back into your neighborhood, as it were. And as you round the last corner to your crash space, you find the kind of the big pull down door to your rehearsal space has a big red, white, and blue kind of like, it's not exactly a flag because it's not like in orderly stripes. It's more like zigzags over it. And it says, and like in like kind of garish like neon green letters, it says, "This isn't over."
Hooray, new friends!
Frankie literally with her bottle of liquor in her hand kind of like takes a selfie of her blowing a kiss and with the caption of "Bring it, sweethearts. We'll school you any day you want."
All right, send me a copy of that. I'll be using that.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. Man,
All right,
and she like
before we go to bed, I gotta
another
take care of something.
Look, this shit's look. She looks at Bram and she's like clearly in her cups because she's been drinking the whole time she's come back. She's like, look at this shit. Do you see this shit they put on my wall? This person, I'm going to their house tagging their shit. This is my house. It's my
Do
house.
they even have houses here on the moon?
They're like, look, they got
Yeah.
like silver spoons in their mouth or something because like the
What?
whole like FSA crap is like, yeah, we're gonna spew our prejudiced bullshit, and they're
And it's
like
just like
hook, line, and
the whole time you're
sinker.
talking.
Finger up.
I mean, most of us don't have spoons in our mouths, as you put it, but yeah, they're from here, or at least they live here.
Psh, shit, if that.
But yeah, weird they didn't try to fuck with us tonight.
They did. I
Oh, they
told
did.
them.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I couldn't remember if I saw what was happening at all with
Yeah,
that.
you clocked all that.
Yeah.
I
Good job taking care
literally
of that, Bram.
took their asses down. Did you see that? They tried to step up to me on that stage, and you know what I did? You know what I did? I schooled them. I taught them. I taught them what real bang is and how they need to fucking get with it. If they're gonna play this game. If they want to play this game, they need to step their shit up.
I mean,
She kind of leans into
still, the
Bram
rivalry stays musical. It's pretty good. That's all right.
and she like points over at Hannah and she's like, "Do you see that lady right there? Do you see her, Bram?
Yeah, I see it.
Isn't she great? She's fucking fantastic. She's hot and she's great.
She's pretty awesome.
Great.
I'm gonna go paint over the door. I'll be back. And grabs some cans of paint and brush and goes outside to paint a rainbow. Unwilling to deal with compliments.
Nice.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's got like this big, beautiful brain that comes up with all these freaking ideas, man. Fucking great. It's great. So you're great too. You're great. You know why you're great? You're great because you kept an eye on her when she needed you to have her back. And that's why you're part of this crew.
I didn't really know I was gonna be, but it's nice being here with you and with Hannah. It's nice. I like it.
Why are you stammering? Relax. We're not going to bite. I mean, unless you ask us to bite, but you got to do it nicely or roughly. I don't know what you're into, but that's all I'm saying. Do you want to dance? This is a great night for dancing.
If
I
you
can
still
teach
have
you
us
how
in
to
the
dance.
mind link, you can just feel waves of embarrassment off Hannah from outside.
I don't
It's on the
know
hip.
how to dance.
oh, this is perfect. And she like shoves the bottle in your face, and she's like, here, take a
Oh,
swig. That's how you start limbering up.
he'll take a couple of heavy drafts because he needs a drink after fucking a night.
And she like puts the ball down, and she kind of like half shouts out loud and through the mind link, hey, you're come joining us dancing when you get done. And she will legit turn on
Hey.
music and start dancing with Bram. And
Yeah,
it's a lot
outside
of sorry, go ahead.
Oh, so yeah, outside I turn the zigzags into a rainbow and the any stars or whatever into butterflies and then head back up.
You probably come in and you see that Frankie has her hands on Bram's hips, trying to get him to loosen up and stop being so like stiff with his movements. And she
How does
just keep drinking. You gotta loosen up some.
Keep in
I think look
mind,
at Bram to see how he feels about this.
mechanically, Bram has a dexterity of 5, and he is moving like a robot.
I think
Just
we
he
might have
is
had enough
so
dancing for
like
the night.
unsure.
Here, I'll make us some grilled cheeses.
The best. She makes the best. Have I mentioned how amazing
I'll
she
take
is?
that one. I do.
Amazing. You got. Why are you so awkward right now? Am I scary? Am I scary to you? Do I intimidate you,
Yes.
Graham? Mind you, she's like this close.
Right. No, you don't. You don't intimidate me.
Then why are you
You
so
don't.
skittish?
And since you can selectively say who you broadcast to, he switches over to just to Frankie, and without words, it's more like sensation. He projects like it is a feeling of gray concrete and steel that is his devotion to the Vikings. This unshakable spinal column of devotion. And this loyalty that comes with it that is uh, almost like family. There is this very red, hot, like literally, it's like a heartbeat desire for you. And like you get these little flashes of you during the Bang performance of just like it's almost like snapshots, very voyeuristic, but just these moments where you are perfectly framed by lighting and holograms and like you're lit up in strange and different ways, um and this like absolute green black terror of um not you but what you represent as the scion of a rival family, like just these very intense emotional imprints just come at you in a wordless expression.
Frankie doesn't have the natural sensations that you guys have with this, so it kind of causes her to pause as she's trying to comprehend what she's feeling. And she basically sits through all of it, and you can probably see like Hannah sees her kind of pause as she's literally looks like she's wrapped concentration on something, and she pauses, and then she looks up at Bram, and she kind of like tilts her head, and she says, "Do you want me to stop?"
Before Bram responds, Frankie, I'd like you to roll your inspiration plus your intuitive facet.
Okay. Which is 5. D10s explode.
Actually, no, not your intuitive facet, your reflective facet.
Reflective. I don't think I have any reflective. Hold up.
There's one of them that starts with an R.
I got you.
Should be on your character sheet.
Yeah, I am silly and don't have my character sheet. There it is.
Reflective.
Okay, I'll just roll my inspiration.
All right.
I don't reflect on things. I do things.
Moment of action.
Well, 10, 8, 6. So I'm going to explode by 10. Currently 2 and rolling. 3.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
3 on 3 dice. Yeah, I'm doing great.
When you get hit with this sort of like this powerful, like emotive, psychic conduit, like these energy, these emotions carried over the psychic medium, you have like it's like you sort of your mind just sort of flashes on a few things. You see, and it's more than like a vision. It's like you are in different places, like one after the other. Like it's all the same room, but in one moment you are locked in like a passionate embrace with Abraham. In the other, you are being dragged out by some of your cousins, and while Abraham is getting his shit kicked out of him. And the other, Bram just isn't here at all, and you guys are having a totally different night. And then you're back in this room. It happened. It happened like that.
Yeah. She literally asks you, and then just kind of she stares and goes wide-eyed. She goes, "Did you do that?"
I showed you how I feel. What do you mean? Yeah, I did that.
I just saw like 3 different realities.
No. I just gave you how I feel.
Yeah, the two of you didn't feel anything weird happening when that happened.
I just saw 3 different realities of this exact same night. I've seen us together. I've seen us both getting the crap kicked out of us, and I saw you as not even being here, and this is a different night altogether.
Huh.
I
You
don't
sure
know what
you
I
ain't
just saw.
psychic?
No, I'm not psychic. I'm not even fucking sensitive. Do you have to bring that up?
I'm just saying, it's the kind of shit that they always talk about, ain't it? Sorry. Stuff that they always talk about.
I cuss all the time. You're not going to offend me.
It's a thing. It's not for you.
All right. Do you know what that was, Hannah? Did you see that? Was it just me?
I think that was just you. Raclette or Gouda?
Gouda. And she kind of pauses. She goes, I just saw the branching of 3 different realities.
I got nothing on that.
Yeah,
And she just kind of pauses and she just kind of like shakes her head for a moment. She goes, I don't know what that was, but you're not getting out of answering that question. Now that I got sidetracked by my own brain. Thanks, brain, she kind of says.
All right, well, here's your
Awesome.
sandwiches. I'm going to bed. Good night.
Yeah, it is very late, and you guys have all had a very big day. But
she sighs and she goes, I guess just come lay down. Just fuck it. Just come lay down. You don't have to say anything. Just it's time to go to bed. And she's like half eating a sandwich and she's kind of like half walking over to this hammock that's kind of haphazardly strung in the corner of the room.
do you guys have a couch?
Yeah, we probably have a fair bit of eclectic crafts eclectic craft space.
One of those big egg chairs.
Egg chair, old broken couch that's been found somewhere.
I'll find the couch that can most easily be moved so that it is facing the door, and I'll sit on it and just kind of sleep sitting up,
okay.
just in case anybody tries to come through the door. But I'll finish my sandwich. But as he's kind of starting to drift off, like he'll stop committing the motes or the size so that the connection eventually fades. But the last thing that he broadcasts to Frankie before it does is, "I don't want you to stop."
All right. She currently doesn't react to that.
So yeah,
She kind of haphazardly is like sleeping like awkwardly in this hammock. Like it's much like a disaster child in the corner.
So yeah, you guys, the night eventually comes. Exhaustion eventually overtakes you all. However quieter and quiet your minds are, and you guys get some hours of sleep. Eventually, your own body or your phones start to or your mini comps start to wake you up with one thing or another. You get a message about the breakdown of the space is already happening. It's going well. Doesn't really need you to be there for it. You get a message from the Earth based. I believe they call them Terra Blue. Terra something. No, Wild Terra was the group. That's right,
Yeah.
Wild Terra. You get a message from Wild Terra that they got the feed, and they multiple thumbs up, multiple compliments on things. One guy's being really nitpicky about some stuff, but other people tell him to shut the fuck up. It's a big collaborative wiki message, but
Amazing.
they kind of say like. We've got one other group that we're talking to about the premiere of our project. So you'll hear back with us in a day or two, and they leave it at that.
Frankie kind of looks at the message and squints, and she goes, "Those goddamn Liberty lads! I can feel it." She's kind of.
I truly doubt they'd be interested in a jump bank collaboration.
They will as long as they can take it away from us.
Maybe. I
Wait,
wouldn't
and
worry
you
too
see
much.
her
They'd be.
pause, and she looks to see if her dad responded to anything or sent her anything.
Yeah, he has sent you a message. He basically says, I haven't heard anything, and I'm going to take that as good news.
You can, for those who are awake, you see Frankie looks really excited for a moment, and then you can see like her entire demeanor drops, her shoulders sag for a moment, and her entire mirth is gone. And then you see her in the next instant literally pull herself back together and just set her phone down.
Everything all right?
As expected.
Ah. Well, I think I'm gonna start on the social media side of things. Here's what I got so far, and I'll show you some little clips I've kind of cut out and some stuff making the Liberty lads look pretty bad, and or at least show them embarrassing themselves, basically.
Go ahead and give me a. Let's see here. Yeah, give me a culture roll
Sure
to see how well you string that shit together. What's Bram up to while this editing fest is going on?
I'm gonna key my my implanted radio, and I'm gonna reach out to Mal.
Okay. And so yeah, and what about Frankie? And Frankie doing anything after that?
Other than just bothering, probably annoying, Bram for a bit, before buggering off, and probably is looking around, seeing what's happening tonight on the social calendar.
Okay.
What's going on around town?
Got it. Okay.
Two, by the way.
2 successes. Yeah, you put out you reinforce the hit job, updating it with the new stuff. It's kind of a de rigueur update kind of thing. It doesn't really cause huge waves, but it does add to the momentum of what you guys have been doing as far as your social media battle.
Yeah. I do make sure to include pictures of where they defaced our home.
Yeah,
And what we did with it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's getting good buzz. It's not going like super viral, but it's good buzz.
Mm-hmm.
You click on your radio to Mao, it gets a kind of a couple of pulses waiting, and eventually you hear the click of Mao's acknowledgement chime, and says, "Bram, tell me the good news."
Seems like it went off without a hitch. Nobody died. you know, nobody threw down. I mean, those Liberty fucks tried to pull some bullshit, but I got them out of there, and even dunked their little bullshit infrasound generators. So yeah, no, seems like it went okay.
Good, good. All right, cool. Actually, it's good that you mentioned that because you mentioned those. I put some feelers out on those guys. They're obviously a bunch of fucking FSA fucks, but I did get a ping back on something. Uh, you know, the obvious things. Yeah. They're connected to some fucking FSA Media Corp. They got some money behind them. We figured that as much. But uh, something one of my guys said. He says that there might be a connection to the spook operation. They're kind of a uh, what is the name of the there's a name for the FSA like Gestapo.
Don't remember. Let me see if I still have my thing open to it.
Yeah, it's from the FSA thing. Let me look up that. No, it's not FSB because that's actual real world Russia. Let me look that up real quick. Anyway, yeah, but like there might be some connection to their intelligence branch. There might be some kind of like psyop or something. Maybe not be quite as frivolous with them because there might be something real nasty behind them.
So what? You want me should like next time I see him like teach him a lesson? What?
Oh no, quite the opposite. Like it's one thing if there's court muscle behind, court money behind them. That's that can get dicey, but that's the kind of dicey we can deal with. But if you're talking about like FSA spooks, maybe not antagonize them until we figure that out. Like don't start none unless it's an appropriate response.
I guess. I mean, like they didn't really strike me as spooks.
I'm not saying they're spooks. I'm saying that there's a whiff of spook around them.
I got you.
Like, if it's true, then you might be stirring up more trouble than you're thinking you are.
Shit. All right. Well, that's a pickle, but I'll see what I can do to jar it.
Yeah, just keep an eye out. Maybe don't maybe have your kids not stir the shit as much as they might want to.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think for the time being, stick with them. Keep an eye on it. We got some pretty good numbers from our operations there. Good job on those dead zones. That was really a really smart move. You're doing good work there. So we're gonna keep you on. We might need you for a thing in a couple of days, but for the time being, stay where you are.
All right. it's good to know. Glad that I can be a good contributor to the cause. And yeah, I'll stick around. They ain't really getting on my nerves too much. So if that's what I gotta do, it's what I gotta do. So yeah.
Good times.
All
Good
right.
times. All right. All right. All right. If you need anything, let me know.
I will say on the FSA stuff, they did tag the kids' dwelling last night.
By tag, you mean like graffiti?
Yeah.
Or okay. All right. All right. So it's not like a. All right. Cool. Yeah. That's.
I think there's gonna be some social media beef, but like ain't nobody declaring war or nothing, so I reckon it's gonna be okay.
All right. All right. So
But
yeah,
yeah,
just
I won't let them do anything major.
good. Just maybe let them know that these things can escalate, and if it escalates in a way that causes problems for our business, then that might be the start of something not so fun.
All right, I'll pass that along.
And he says, "All right, I got some stuff to do. You keep on being a good babysitter."
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, goodbye.
Yeah. So Frankie, you've been checking out the OpNet, looking at some stuff about stuff that's going on tonight. Um, a lot of people. There's a lot of buzz about the jump bang project. A lot of people are talking about it. They all the stripped down version has been getting a lot of play. A lot of chatter on who's going to be premiering it. Like people are lining up and trying to like find some message of like there's like some like community thing of like, all right, who's going to get tickets to wherever it is, even though we don't know where it's going to be. Let's do this fairly. Let's do this equitably. There's some already the community is organizing around it, even though there's nothing technically to organize around it. Good old Bang and Anima generation. But yeah, as far as what's going on tonight, there is there are a couple of Bang shows tonight that aren't really like new and exciting things. It's kind of middle of the week kind of things of like some basically some popular projects are getting like some of them are just being rehosted. There's one or two remixes of popular things going on. It's more of like it's a casual Bang night. Nothing big is happening, but some like low key like just kind of hangout shows are being arranged tonight.
It's a Bing night.
It's a
Bing night.
yeah.
Have we received any funding from our last show?
Yeah, I mean, you guys got some money. You definitely got enough to like break even on your staffing
Perfect.
levels. You're not losing any money. There's a little bit of money in the kitty.
Yeah, no, it's mostly I just want to make sure that if we need to have money again to buy something, we can.
Yeah,
That's
you
all I
get.
wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I mean, money. I think all of us know here that like a creative project's budget is a very very tenuous thing, especially at the underground level. But yeah, there's some money. Like there's some yuan in the bank that you guys could throw around if you need be.
All right.
So yeah, so you got that squared away. What is next for everyone? What's the plan for the rest of the day?
I'll go and talk with them actually. I probably went off and wandered just up and down the corridors as I was doing my talk, but then I come back. Automatically, I was just kind of doing a security sweep, but that was more just like kind of just happening in the background. And I'll come back and just kind of brush myself off. I'll set the suit to kind of do a quick like auto clean, just to kind of get the worst of the grunge from last night off. Um, so, good news, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna say good news. The Vikings want me to stay around with y'all, so I am.
Oh, it is good news. I wonder.
Why?
Well,
I'm not complaining. I just
why? Why is a
why
good question.
Uh, it's going well. Might be some things coming down the pipe that they want to get y'all in on, or
I
even
mean,
be.
I was hoping after last night's success, maybe we could maybe make that venue a little bit of a more permanent spot for us. Maybe even some other collectives to occasionally host in. You think your folks might be amenable to that, Ram?
as long as it doesn't come with too many strings attached.
Well, yeah, but either
Uh,
pay in money or entanglement, right?
I
In
mean,
this case,
come
both.
up come up with a business plan, and I'll push it up the chain. I reckon. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't want to sleep too long before we start planning our next show, of course. Gotta.
We need to start
Yeah.
planning the next one.
What's y'all's what you call it, uh, uh, cadence like? You do this every week, every month?
Oh well, that was kind of a debut for us as far as being a bigger thing.
Oh,
Um, but I mean, yeah, show doing a show every couple weeks seems like that'd be something to shoot for.
Do we want to shoot for next week or 2 weeks?
Well,
Well,
we're reusing a lot of the material. Oh, sorry, Scott, go ahead.
yeah, I will say that like if you get the premiere of the jump band
Right.
project, like that's a thing that's going to take up a lot of time because you're going to have to do some reconfiguring of your tech, like
Mhm.
do some reconfiguring of the space to make it fit spec. So that in and of itself will be another show for you
A pretty
all.
big project, yeah.
But it's not it's going to be more of a logistical project than a creative one. It's more about doing someone else's work justice than putting your own work on display. But it will still take up a lot of your
It'll be a
time.
little
Yeah.
right. It'll be a little while before you hear about it.
I
But
think that we might just need to schedule once a month right now. I
well,
think that's
don't want to
reasonable.
oversaturate, especially if we're not coming up with as much. The more you play, the harder it is to come up with new material.
Yeah.
It's only so many hours in the day. But just thinking for the future.
No, I think you're right. The real
Really,
question is, what are we going to do today?
that is a good question. We're kind of wrapped up in all this business.
We can't really go explore, myceliums, whatever the hell's happening down below.
Yeah, I figure he'll let us know when he's ready.
And as far as the Liberty lads go, we can't really fuck with them until they have something going on. So I guess we'll just have to keep an eye on their social media and see where they're doing stuff. And
Oh yeah, I was
yeah,
checking it
yeah,
out this
yeah,
morning.
yeah, yeah.
about that. So, uh, my boss, my capo, he gave me a little bit more info. They did a bit of digging on these guys. They might be kind of partially, sort of seriously connected to uh, some of the FSA spy apparatus.
In FSA, everything is surveillance.
Like, for serious though, like they ain't just getting money to do their thing from the government. They might be somehow connected with like serious stuff. So
You mean
just
having a sanctioned big ass distraction happening where they can actually run things through it? Nah, clearly not linked. Not at all.
uh,
I mean,
what
worth noting.
Well, think about it. They're trying to put out this big new thing, right? They're trying to put out the alternative to Bang. They're going to put this out. They're going to rock the whole like system they're trying anyway, which is going to be a huge distraction to likely something else that's going on right now that they don't want you to pay attention to.
I
It's
mean,
not like they
maybe.
just came on the scene for the hell of it. They don't do
Well,
anything for the hell of it.
there's also no shortage of history of entertainers being used for as spies as on the side, and that's
I
not
thought
just in
they
the
just didn't
FSA.
like you.
Oh well, I think that's a big part of it. I doubt there's any particular official reason why they do noticing us, but I mean, I'm fine with letting that beef settle if y'all think it's best. I don't really
What?
want.
They called us garbage. The hell with that.
You're right. We're trashy, not garbage. But
Literally, that's what they called us. They called us like garbage people, like some garbage, like trash band thing.
yeah, they embarrass themselves terribly. Look, it's,
You guys just want to let it go? I mean,
no,
clearly
I
they
like
left their
embarrassing them, but
calling
again,
card on our door.
if they're up to
Just
anything,
personally speaking, I ain't got no dog in that particular fight.
Don't you though?
Philosophically speaking, I think they're not nice people. I ain't got no love for the FSA. I think what they're preaching is pretty awful, but just right now it's tat for tit. Don't ain't nothing big or heavy going down, and if you keep doing the escalation, then maybe it is gonna eventually get that way. So just
well,
if I'm here to do security, I gotta do security. So please just think before you do your stuff.
I mean, look, odds are whatever we're up to next time we're performing out, they're probably gonna fuck with us again. So don't worry, Frankie, you'll get your chance even if we don't pursue it.
Exactly.
Well, I'm not saying go
Exactly.
after them right now. I'm just saying we need to keep an eye on them because they're going to retaliate and we need to be prepared for when it does. Also, she looks over at her and she goes, "Have you met me before? Does anything I do say I think out exactly what I do?"
I'm beginning to get that impression. No.
Hannah and Bram, I need you to roll attunement for me. That's going to be your psi plus your highest mode.
Okay. Two successes.
Also, too.
Okay, so very suddenly, you both feel this this pain, like an icy spike of nausea, just sort of hits you right in the gut. It's not like physical pain. It's more like it's a pain of in your psychic awareness. And moments afterward, as you're sort of both reeling from the shockwave, um, uh, uh, all along like the hallway, and even in the interior room, like emergency lights start to flash, and an automated voice starts coming over, sort of like the communal, emergency thing says dome breach, get to a safe area, and that's where we're gonna take our break.
Oh shit!
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. And we are back. So, Emergency lights are blaring. An automated voice is saying something about a dome breach, and advising people to get to emergency shelters. So some things that you guys know as residents of the moon. What a dome breach means is that basically a dome means that like one of the upper level domes over one of the sections, or at least one of the sections of Olympus, has been breached. Down where you guys are, that means considerably less than if you were in fact one of the domes. There are many layers of protection, many layers of like bulkheads and emergency doors that can and probably are sealing themselves off right now automatically to prevent any threat of decompression from happening where you are. It means a lot for the people who are living on the surface. So that is sort of your baseline. You're still being advised to go to get to a securer location and get another layer of protection. But it's not like there are people coming around rounding you up and like forcing you to go where you want to do. For this situation, as far as you guys know, as people who live on the moon and kind of have to think about this sort of thing, for the moment, you guys should be fine where you are. Hannah and Bram, you guys are still kind of reeling from this shock wave that has hit you. You're not quite sure what it means. This kind of like sudden, almost violent psychic sensation is fairly new to the both of you, and so it is ringing your bells at the moment. I want to know what everyone is doing.
I start putting together a go bag and ask my agent, "Hey, honey, can you find out what's happening?"
Sure thing. Traffic's pretty harsh right now, but I'll check it out.
Frankie, since she's used to being this low and is kind of taking it nonchalantly, she's like more annoyed that it's happening. So she's just like, ugh. And she just like walks over and picks up a backpack.
What about Bram?
Being totally away from everything, he kind of takes a minute. He's sort of clutching his stomach and a little. He's got a bit of the stanky leg, and then he just kind of like shakes his head. You two gonna be okay? I gotta go take care of something real fast.
Sure,
Alright.
what's up? Do you need some help?
Yeah, it's family. I got to make sure my family's okay.
Do you want help?
Come with me then. Yeah.
All right.
She just grabs her backpack and goes with him.
Okay.
Frankie trusts her dad to have things in place. She's not worried about him.
Right. So as you guys head out of your area, there are like you head out and there's kind of like streams of people making their way either to their own residences or to emergency shelters. There's kind of a rush of people as you guys move out to it. But it is at this point we're going to roll back the clock a bit to the last time something like this happened to all of you. You guys have been living on the moon. Things have happened. It's a dangerous universe. So roughly 4 years ago, there was a huge attack on the moon. The focus of it was not on Olympus itself, but a space dock sort of on the outskirts of Olympic. But there was a lot of collateral. So like Olympus got locked down pretty hard. There was some pretty major damage to the upper layers. There was some incursions down to the lower layers. This was a big time aberrant attack on Luna. What I'd like to know is what were each of you doing 4 years ago when this attack happened last time? The last time that attack like this happened. Let's start with Frankie. Where was Frankie 4 years ago when the moon got attacked?
How long has our band been together? Only a year or so?
Yeah, like 6 months probably.
yeah, Frankie's one of the younger people.
Yeah.
Kind of that
How old were you when this happened 4 years ago?
14.
14. Okay, so you're a wee babe.
She was a teen. She's literally 18 and acts like she's 18.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she kind of she was probably at home, um, probably laying on her bed over in daddy's place, probably bored doing schoolwork, more than likely. But actually not actually doing schoolwork like she's supposed to appear to be doing. She's actually writing music as she's lying there on the bed. With, of course, probably in front of her is that little projection of like her teacher who's teaching the class, and she's just like in her classroom, um, basically doing not schoolwork.
Mm-hmm. So basically, yeah, you're doing not school work, and the emergency lights come on. You start getting alerts. One of your daddy's capos rushes into your room and says, "We gotta go, ma'am. We gotta go. We gotta go."
He probably likely tells her that and then just picks her up,
Yeah.
because that would be dad's orders. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter what she says. Grab the kid.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of just like fumbles, and as they're running out the door, she literally grabs her guitar as like the thing that she takes most. Not her computer, not any of that. She literally grabs and reaches for her guitar as they run out the door.
Yeah, you basically run out the door. You run out your door. You head down. You know where he's taking you. He's taking you to the panic room. He's taking you to the safe room. You haven't had there hasn't been like a serious time you've had to use this, but there's at least every other week a drill, because for many reasons your family has a room like this, so you know exactly where you're going. But as you are being carried down that way, you do kind of make your way through the basement level where you're not allowed to ever go because business happens down there. And you see your father, you see a couple of his lieutenants, you see a couple of your older cousins in there, and they are in serious business mode. And you see on a couple of screens, which you know that they have like tapped into the surveillance network so that they can monitor their turf. You see things happening on the screens that you don't exactly understand, like very violent things and things that don't quite look human happening on those screens. Um, how does Frankie react to this?
Her eyes go wide, and the person carrying can feel her tighten her grip, as clearly she's seeing over his shoulder the screens behind them. And you see Frankie at first, like, you actually see her start to duck her head back behind this guy's shoulder, before she kind of catches sight and sees her family reacting the way that they do. And you literally see her in her brain. She goes, I have to be better. I have to be better. I can't show this. So she just kind of lifts her head, kind of grips tighter to her guitar in her off arm, and she says to the lieutenant that's gotten her, "What's happening?"
I don't know, ma'am. I don't know.
"What are those things?"
And like you've never heard this man be afraid or hear him show any fear. So when unmistakable terror enters his voice, when he says, "I think it might be aberrants." We gotta get you. We gotta get you safe, ma'am. Come on, come on.
She doesn't fight him, but she very clearly like looks over at her dad, and she looks worried. She looks very worried, not for herself, but for him.
As you look and you see your father like going to the one of the armory cabinets and pulling a rifle out, and he like spares up just a moment to look you in the eyes, and just like you see steel in his eyes.
She just kind of like makes a sign that they have together where she's basically saying, I love you.
He makes it back, and you are taken to the safe room. Hannah.
I would probably have been at the Magnet Life Sciences School studying to become a doctor, as my parents ordained in the FSA quadrant when it went off.
Yeah, so yeah, you're in
My
class.
class. Yep.
When the sirens start going off, um, and you know your school security officers show up momentarily to start escorting the class. Um, you're probably uh, the the things that are happening around you are chaotic. You know, everyone's kind of going nuts. Um, there's a lot of shouting. You can hear in the distance sounds of explosions. Uh, it's not exactly clear what's going on uh, as you are being escorted out of the classroom, down the hallways, probably over to an emergency shelter. You don't think that there's anything in the school proper where a response like this can be held. Um, and yeah, there is a lot of panic in the air. And as you are just sort of hearing, you hear the word aberrant. Like, is this an aberrant attack?
Because I am young and silly
Yeah.
and
How old is
overheard,
Hannah? How old is
I would
Hannah at
have
this point?
been probably 16 or 17,
Okay.
so like 2021ish now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I you can veto this if you want, but the night before I'd overheard my parents talking about deleting my agent or maybe sending me to one of those programs for wayward youth.
Okay.
So aberrants are an abstract thing that I've heard about in school and am kind of afraid of, but they're kind of boogeymen to me.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a very real threat. So I'm actually going to take the chance in the chaos to slip away and try to find somewhere just to hide. And then I want this to be when I ran away.
Okay. Yeah, this is absolutely can be when you ran away. Yeah. So you slip off. You manage to break away from the school security, and it is chaotic enough to do so. What sort of place would you run to?
Um, I would probably try to find somewhere just kind of out of the way, like a maintenance closet or something, until I don't think anyone's around who'd be looking for me, and then I'll try to go to one of the civilian or one of the public shelters if there are any somewhere further down before I try to make my way out into other parts of Luna.
Okay.
Find a way
So
to find a place to hunker down where nobody knows me, basically.
right, right. So yeah, you're thinking like you you want to get far away. You want to get
Yeah,
far
I'm
enough
asking my agent for
away.
help.
You ask your agent for help, and your agent even now is very in tune with you, very much. It's kind of strange. Like you don't know if it's truly feeling a mirror of your anxiety and excitement, or if it's just emulating it. But like Hannah too is very excited and is just like, okay, yeah, great, we can make this route. Just make sure to be safe. I'm hearing a lot of bad things happening. So you should go here. You should go here. You go there. There's going to be a jaunt when you're going to be under. We're going to have to go up. So you're going to be pretty close to the top side. That's a little risky though. Here's some alternate options, but that's probably going to be your quickest, best way to get far away.
Let's do it.
So yeah, you basically follow your way, follow your sort of holographic projection of your agent pointing you the way, and you are under the dome for maybe 5 minutes. And just as you're about to take an elevator down to a lower level, you see a shadow cross in between over the dome. Like there's suddenly like a large portion of the area that is not illuminated from the sun. And you look up and you see something that you do not understand in the slightest. Something massive,
Oh,
something bulbous and tentacly, not in the dome with you, but
mm-hmm. But
but hovering above it, go like in orbit of the moon.
I will actually, if I can, like in my panic, take a snapshot of it while we're moving. But yeah,
Um,
so
and Yeah, in that moment when you're just like you manage a moment of detachment to be able to take a snapshot of it, and you you don't your vision gets very cloud like your memory of this incident gets cloudy, and you're detached from your own perspective for a moment, and the clearest memory of you have is that somehow you name that thing. You know its name. You know the name of the colony. Um, and that memory of that image and that name has stayed with you. Bram, 4 years ago, how old were you and where were you?
18, and I was probably at whatever HQ the Vikings were at the time. Uh, Probably just hanging out, either getting ready for a job or an event, or debriefing afterwards.
Okay, so yeah, you're pretty low. Like,
Yes,
like
I'm even lower than I am today.
yeah, the sounds are, the notices of things happening up there are present. You kind of know what's going on, but there's a great deal of distance and many layers of rock and sci-fi steel between you and what's going on up there. Like they're very much an air of, well, that's rich people problems. Um, so yeah, so you're fairly detached from what's happening up there. Um, there's definitely a heightened degree of vigilance with the Vikings. They send you out on a patrol to patrol the turf because who knows what's happening, but who knows, we don't want anyone thinking they can get away with anything while this is going down. So yeah, but you do eventually hear that it's an aberrant attack. And what would Bram's reaction to that news be?
Like most things, their aberrants are a distant thing. Like, just there are so many other more practical and immediate concerns this far down, um, that they don't necessarily strike the same kind of terror that they do in other people in Bram. Um, but that's much more out of ignorance than bravado. Uh, and in fact, I'd say it's entirely out of ignorance, and in no way is it related to any sort of perceived lack of a threat. He just doesn't really understand them. It'd be like talking about the ocean. He can imagine it, but never
Right.
seen it, never smelled it, never experienced it.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, this far down, it's just not. It's just not a problem. It's not an issue.
Yeah. Uh, so yeah, the thing it goes on. Like the awareness of something happening goes on, um, and eventually, at some point, you do get sort of like more urgent notices from your mini comp from your radio about there's movement, like something's coming, like there's movement of a rival gang, of moving onto your turf. So someone might be taking advantage of this thing. So you are ordered to mobilize to a certain corridor where to try and repel this move on your turf.
Okay.
And when you're there, when you get there, there's a firefight already in progress.
In Bram's history, he was severely wounded in a gang fight.
Mm-hmm.
Can this be one of those moments?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, you kind of like you come onto the scene, you take a shot, and then like you just feel a stab of pain in your shoulder as a stray bullet comes and hits you. And you kind of get shocked for a bit. And it takes a couple moments for you to realize that something isn't right. Like there's not like you've seen a gang fight before, and you've seen interchanges, and so like with your sudden like detachment from the situation because someone takes you down and like takes you over into an alcove, and like you have this weird detached moment of sort of piecing things together, and you kind of realize that the vast majority of the shots are not back and forth, are going in one way. And you see a weird moment in the conflict when people you don't recognize start running past you, past your position, and not being stopped by your fellow gangmates.
Huh. This is weird. Like there is an order to things, especially in 18-year-old Bram's mind of how this all works. Um, and yeah, this is fucking cloud cuckoo land. This is topsy turvy. This is so far beyond the pale that it's weird to him. It's disturbing. Um, and it normally probably wouldn't affect him that much, but because he's been shot, he's probably losing a fair amount of blood. It's like there's a very real moment of terror.
Yeah, and someone pulls you out, and you sort of join. You are force marched on this like rush of bodies into a like behind a secure door, where as that secure door is activated and it's closing, you catch a glimpse of something down that hallway, um, and aberrant becomes less of an abstraction. You catch a glimpse of something that cannot be human as the door closes. And we return to the present. As the sirens are blaring, the automated voice is coming. Like there are sort of arrows pointing to where safe locations are. There is sort of a actual human voice comes over and uh, there's an aberrant attack. An aberrant attack is in progress. Legions have been mobilized. Lunar military forces have been mobilized. Please get to a safe area. Uh, we'll all get through this together. And yeah, so you're heading to your mom's place, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
we're in tow.
Yeah, you're in tow. So complication with that, you get up to the nearest public transit station as it pulls into the station and disgorges its payload of people, and then uh, you see it change to out of service. And the basically as soon as like the people are out of it, the doors close behind, and it says out of service. Local shelters at 20% capacity. Um, Head to local shelters.
Like Bram Bram gets this look on his face that y'all have never seen of like almost like a monk just entering into like a a fugue state of rage. Um and he like starts whipping his head around trying to see if there's someone he can like talk to or something. And if he can't see that, he's going to like ball up a fist, like he's going to try and like just start beating at the door to force his way into the train.
You're muted, Dan.
Valence kind of snaps too when she sees the rage. She's seen looks of rage like that before. And she looks at Hannah and she goes, Mycelium, did they pass that contact of their person?
What?
Mycelium, did they pass the contact of the person, their AI?
Oh. I don't know.
Hannah, your agent comes back, and it confirms there's a couple images that come along with it of like there's a like hole in the dome, and like this like weird drippy substance is coming through it. Um, and like you get a couple images, couple seconds of looped footage of like something moving outside the dome, um, as uh, rifle shots are like taking place, driving it back.
I would like to actually try to use the least resistance power from the clairsentience
Okay.
to try to find the quickest path to. I asked, like, "Hey, Bram, where does your mom send me a coordinates to where your mom lives?" And I'm going to try to use that to find a way there.
I'll send it to her.
Yeah, if you send it
And
to us.
yeah, and while I do that, I'll key my radio and call
Okay.
my mom's like private number.
Okay. Yeah, Hannah, go ahead and roll that power. It's going to be that mode plus your psi. I don't. If that has an expenditure of psi, then
I have to commit. Yeah, I have to commit one
yeah.
to it.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and do that then. Yeah. So yeah. There's a
May
lot.
I use one of our momentum?
Sure thing.
I think we have only one left.
I thought we had two. If we only have
Two.
one, I'll say I can save it.
I
No, I
think
think
you
If
have
we have
two
two, I'll
left.
use one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. There's a lot of traffic and static on your connection, Bram. But you do eventually like find a connection, and it's there's a lot of like compression on the line, but it's like it's managed in such a way that you can have a conversation, but it's not the best quality. And it says, Bram, sweetie, where are you? What's happening?
Ma, I'm down a couple of levels. You gotta get to the shelter. You gotta get to the shelter now.
I'm getting to the shelter. I'm getting to the shelter. I remember what happened last time. What are you doing? Are you going to be safe? Are you getting to your shelter, son?
I'm safe. I got a couple of folks with me. I'm watching them. We're gonna be okay. I'm gonna get to you. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Don't take any risks. I don't. I know your business, but this is different. This is different, honey.
I know, Ma. It's gonna be okay. You just get to the shelter. Okay. You got your
I'm going.
mask.
I'm going. I got my bag. I got my bag. It's fine. Just please be safe. Please don't take any risks, sweetie. You don't know what they're like.
I love you, Ma.
I love you too. Yeah, Hannah, when he tells you where she was likely to be, you kind of take a breath and key in, and you know the path. There are basically like there are maintenance tunnels, service tunnels that can go that don't require the use of the public transit system. You have a good sense of the ways you need to go and the doors you need to take to get there.
All right. All right. I got us a route and start leading us.
And you all heard his half of that conversation, and yeah, when you kind of when you get moving, then he immediately falls in behind you.
Valence actually puts you in between them.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I spend one of my inspiration
Sure thing, you can.
to make an edit?
Yeah. What do you want to edit?
I want to, because I think it would be cinematically awesome if we had basically to make it where getting there, we actually don't have any problems getting there, but I think that in exchange for that, that we like one of us or all of us kind of get separated from each other. Like we get to the location, but then whatever got us there kind of gets us where we all are split up at the location.
Sure thing. That'll be a 2 inspiration edit, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah. So, following Hannah's promptings, you guys make your way through the under tunnels and maintenance ways over to where the level where Bram's mom is. Um, when you get to that level, though, there is just a crush of people. Like you basically step out of a service tunnel, and there is a sea of humanity, and almost instantly, you are. In order to avoid being trampled, you guys have to kind of separate and bleed out into the crowd. Um, so within moments, you guys lose track of one another, and there's just a lot of people going many different ways. Um, what is everyone's responses to this?
I'm just going to keep trying to get to Bram's mother's house since I know he knows where she is from here.
Mm-hmm.
Here, that's probably a good place for us to meet back up.
Okay.
I do. I'll send a message but who knows if everything's going through with over the opnet with how complicated everything is right now. Just headed to Bram's, Bram's mom's.
Okay, so you're just following the true path, which you most certainly have.
Yep.
What about Bram? What is Bram's reaction when you guys get just sort of absorbed into the crowd and scattered?
I'm going to the enforcer comes out in him, and he just kind of dissociates and just starts moving through the crowd like a shark through a school of fish.
Okay.
Exuding a nigh murderous intent to anyone or anything that gets in his way, even accidentally.
Give me a command presence roll.
Do I have anything in that? Let me look. If I had better dice, if I had better stats, this would be so intimidating. Nah, I got 2 presents. But that's 7 and a 10, so one of those explodes. One success.
One success. Okay. You put your best murder face on, but it is a couple of people get out of your way, just sort of as a would rather not have to deal with that thing, but many people are caught up in panic and in their own quests to get where they need to go, that it doesn't clear you a path the way that it looked in your mind like it would.
Right.
But you're making headway through the crowd. What about Frankie? Frankie finds herself alone in a sea of people.
Frankie finds herself alone in a sea of people that she doesn't know, in a place she doesn't know, with non-directions, because she doesn't have the mapping power that everyone else has. And more than that, when Frankie finds herself alone, usually she is tough as nails, but this scares her because now she's having those flashbacks, especially back when she was younger when this happened, and she saw the look in her dad's eyes, and she saw the look on the fear in everyone else's face. So Frankie is, instead of having the fight or flight response, she is going into flight, and hers flight is going to be finding a dark, quiet place. She wants to go hide.
Okay. I mean, the closest dark, hot, quiet place that you can think of is right back in that security tunnel.
She's going right back in that maintenance tunnel.
Gotcha. Okay.
She has decided Frankie is not in the rational mindset that she usually is.
Mm-hmm.
She has gone into regression.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, cool. So Hannah, you with your unerring power to find where you need to go, you get your way. What is Bram's mother's place like? Nigel.
Well, it's Bram's place too.
Okay, yeah.
It's a small apartment. it's comfortable and cozy, but it's very nondescript. Um, it is kind of at the end of a corridor.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it, it was chosen tactically in case
Mhm.
anybody came for him, just that he would have essentially an enfilade kind of built in, um, so he could improvise a kill zone.
Okay.
Uh, and Yeah, it's clean, it's cozy, it's very nondescript. There's no signs, there's no stickers, there's no nothing. It's just like it is bland and intended to sort of blend into everything else.
Okay. Yeah. So you just based on your psychic ability, you recognize it for what it is when you see it, Hannah. Um, the door to it is closed. What are you doing when you get there?
Um, I sent another message to everybody at Bram's. Look, uh, um, where are y'all?
Okay. So Bram, you're still making your way through your crowd. I would like an athletics roll from you, please.
Okay. I will do dexterity athletics. 5, 6, 7, 8 dice. It's actually something I'm good at.
Oh boy.
And of course, I have a specialty, but specialties don't apply like this.
Whoa.
That's right, kiddos.
Yeah.
For those of you not in the know, specialties do not apply on the die
I did
roll.
other rolls,
You
right?
do
You
other
do
rolls,
other
yes. It's a quirk of the story path system.
2 successes.
Okay. Yeah, you are able to you kind of you think things through a little bit more carefully. You're like, it's probably a lot easier just to parkour my way through this crowd than trying to do it through force of personality. And you do so. And you know the way to your place like it's second nature. So within moments of Hannah sending that message over the OpNet, Bram, you are there.
Oh shit, Frankie's not with you.
And yeah, both at this moment, both of you realize that Frankie is not anywhere near you.
I will reach out to her with mind share as I pound onto the. I don't need to pound. I got the fucking key as I open the door and walk through.
Okay. Give me a because it's mind share, so you're just using your basic sense. So go ahead and give me a psi plus your highest telepathy mode roll, please, to try and contact her.
One success.
So you try and reach out to Frankie, and when you open up your psychic senses, you are met with kind of this ringing chorus bell as you that sort of that spike of chill nausea has still kind of been there, but you've managed it. As you open up your mind, you begin to see and feel what can only be the psionic response to what is happening up above. You're sort of hearing these ringing chorus bells of psi frequencies ringing out through the psychic medium, and throughout all that noise, you cannot find Frankie's mind. But you swing your key card, get in, and it is very dark in here. But so you're reaching out with your psychic senses for another purpose, but you feel the very familiar sense, and now enhanced by your psychic sense through this very familiar connection that you have with her. You sense the mind of your mother, and very quickly you identify that she's in her room. She's kind of next to her bed, sort of kneeling down, and you just hear this sort of repetitive chant of prayer as she is sort of clutching her rosary, and in what you can tell is a near panic state. as she is going through her rosary.
I'll call out to her like vocally, Ma, it's me. You ready? Come on.
You, no, I don't want to go out there. There's so many people out there. You never know what's going to happen. I think we're fine here.
Ma, we're too high up. We got to get you to a shelter. Come on.
I don't want to go out there. I don't want to go out there. You don't know what they're like. You don't know what they're like.
I'm the whole time I'm coming in, and
Yeah,
I'm bringing Hannah with me.
Yeah.
And I open the door to her room, and I see her. And for those of you who are not privy to Bram's backstory, and I think actually I haven't mentioned it to either of the other characters. Bram's mother, Zofia, was a miner in the in several off-map lunar mines, and suffered a few accidents because of cave-ins due to sub-regulation safety standards, and
Nothing
walks
safer than
thanks-
mining in space.
She walked thanks to a couple of very serviceable but obviously outdated prosthetic legs, and he like just falls to his knees and kind of holds her, and just like hugs her very very tight for a few long moments.
Yeah. Hannah.
I kind of wave from the door. Hi, Mrs. Bram.
Yeah. It doesn't take like a combination of like knowing the score yourself and the back of your Carillion eye. It is not hard to tell that she is in the midst of a panic attack.
Yeah. Sorry, there we go. I'm actually going to step in and like hold my hand out to like basically try to introduce myself to her, but I want to try to do use the relief to calm her.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and make that roll. While you're doing that, Frankie, you have made your way back into that security tunnel. It is much quieter. It is much calmer. You hear people outside. You hear the emergency sound sirens, but it is quieter here.
Is there some sort of like nook in this service tunnel?
Yeah, there's like an area under a stairwell.
She has put herself in that nook and curled into a ball. She is back that 14-year-old little girl that was carried off, and she is scared out of her mind.
Okay.
Because that her flaw is that she's not quite as badass and brave as she puts herself out to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, this seems to be the safest place that you can find, and in a fear response, that you're doing exactly what you would be doing. So yeah, we'll leave her there for the time being. Did you get any successes, Hannah?
Got one.
Okay. Yeah, you push out, and same thing with Bram. When you sort of open up your psychic senses and start to move in, you feel the flow of like there's magic psychic wuju happening in your general orbit, and like you feel that kind of this rush and ebb and flow of power going on, not right in front of you, but in your vicinity.
Yeah.
But you're able to, with a touch, that overcomes a lot of the resistance, a lot of the noise, and you just touch her, and she takes a breath, and like untenses a little bit in your arms, Bram, and says, "Oh, thank the Lord you're here, son. Oh, this is so scary. This is so scary."
I know, but
What?
I need you to be brave for Hannah, okay? You gotta look good in front of my friends.
She looks at you like finally seeing you for the first time. She's like, oh, this is this is one of your friends. This must be a new person. I don't think you've told me about this friend. Hello, Sophia, uh, uh, hell of a time we
Hi,
are
Miss
having,
Sophie.
aren't we?
I know, excellent circumstances for a first meeting. He's right though. We should probably go. I,
And I'll
it,
get her like her go bag, and I'll put her like emergency breather just
Mm-hmm.
in her hands, and just sort of like help her get out to the door.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, and I will mind share with you, Hannah, if you accept.
yeah,
You got to find Frankie. We got to get a next. We got to find where she went.
try.
Can I help you? Like do that? Is that a thing?
You guys are not familiar with the
Uh,
ability to link up
I
powers.
yeah. If it is, I don't think now's the time for us to figure it out.
I
Let's see. Sorry.
Probably the
Yeah,
best.
actually, least resistance says it can help you find things that are lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that
So
would definitely
I
be
would like to
good.
try that again.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. Yeah, make that roll.
Oh no, no successes.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
at
we
least
get
we
a
got some momentum back.
momentum.
You do get some momentum, yeah. So yeah,
and you gave us some momentum when you gave us the split up edit, didn't you?
Mm-mm.
no, that's not how that works.
Oh,
Um,
I'm
So
sorry.
we should have two now.
yeah, you should
We
have two
back
now.
at 2.
Yeah, the craziness around you, the what was probably a space battle happening outside. It
Um,
is you cannot pinpoint her.
I instead asked my agent if it can, because obviously me and
Hmm.
Frankie talk via our mini comps all the time.
Hmm.
Can you see if you can locate her or get her to respond?
Sure thing. Let me take a gander.
Thank
Um,
you.
I'm just imagining this. Do you have like any points in your agent, or is it
I
just
do.
like the
No,
the
it's a
the,
yeah.
the
I have a
standard?
biocomp and yeah, I have a one enhancement for it.
So it's like I imagine it doesn't have much in the way of a contextual filter. So it's like, sure thing, chum. I'll find your friend right away. And it's like that's totally not appropriate for the
Thanks,
scene.
honey.
yeah.
I mean, and probably would have set her up to be pretty, set up the agent to be pretty upbeat anyway. So I think that seems appropriate.
Hmm. Right.
Well, it's been with me a long, long time, so it's
Yep.
probably learned that way.
Looking up the rules on that. Yeah, it should be later on the thing. Not robots. All right, whatever. Yeah. Go ahead. What are the abilities on your agent?
Ooh, I don't know. There wasn't a whole lot. I know it gives me one enhancement when I use it for things, but
Yeah.
um, I don't know.
Go
Maybe like
well.
a
Go
technology
ahead.
roll.
Yeah. Yeah. Make a technology roll with the enhancement from your mini comp. We'll go with that for now.
Sure. I have none of that, but I'm fairly smart and cunning, so I'll use one of those.
Yeah. There is a way for just your comp to do stuff for you.
I will try to look that up in between then, because I should probably
Yeah.
make use of that. I got one success and one enhancement.
Okay, yeah. She was like, yeah, let me backtrace her through your contacts and the geolocation data, and yeah, she eventually comes back to you with sort of the last ping from when her
Hmm.
mini comp checked in with the local Wi-Fi server, and yeah, like the last Wi-Fi server that she pinged on was in the service tunnels.
Ah, I think she's back where we got separated. Which maybe you want to get your
All
mom to a
right.
shelter. I'll go look for Frankie.
Um, yeah, I'll try to help remotely.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
All right,
So
Sophia,
yeah,
I'll meet you back at the shelter. I got my friend got separated. Our other friend got separated. I'm gonna go find her.
yeah, great. Let's get going. So yeah, it's still a crush of people. So I'm gonna need athletics rolls from both of you.
Sure thing. I will
Oh
roll with
wow.
dexterity.
I don't know if any of y'all in the viewing audience can hear, but it is really coming down where I'm at.
Yeah.
Oh, how nice.
It's very pleasant.
Yeah. Well, since all the sound is being routed through me, I can't hear anything from anyone else. So, as far as that's concerned,
2 successes.
2 successes, 1 success.
Yep.
Bram, you're able to navigate the crowd fairly easily, and you're able to kind of get into the line to get to to get into the shelter. It's nearing capacity, but you do a quick judge of like how many people are in front of you versus like the digital readout of capacity. It's already giving like instructions of where to redirect to if people need to get redirected. But you're pretty sure you can get in there. You and your mom can get in there. You're not sure about Hannah and Frankie though.
I'm gonna wrap my hands around hers, like where the rosary is still clutched, and I'm gonna be like, Ma, I'm gonna need you to say a couple more of these for me, okay?
He's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? We gotta get where they're safe.
I gotta know that you're safe. I gotta go find my friends, okay? I gotta make sure that they're safe. I'm gonna come back for you, okay?
Okay. Oh, you're such a good friend. You're such a loyal friend.
Ma, I love you. I want you. You gotta stay safe, okay?
I'm gonna get to the shelter, sweetie. I'm gonna get to the shelter. Trust me. Trust me. It's
Like we're in line right
yeah.
now.
You're in line. You're
Okay.
in line. It's like your grandfather. You never met your grandfather, but the things that happened to him because of these freaks.
I know. I want you to tell me when I get back, okay?
Okay. All right. You go find your friends.
And with that, I'll do a quick like scan just to make sure that there ain't gonna be nobody to like fuck with her,
Mm-hmm.
and then turn on my heel and head back into the crowd.
Yeah, it doesn't look like anyone here is here in the prey on the weak mode. Everyone's kind of looking after their own skin at the moment. So Hannah, you are making your way through the crowd to where to that service entrance. It is pretty difficult because you're going against the flow of movement, and so you kind of you're on your way there, but it is difficult to do so. Bram, go ahead and give me another athletics roll.
Come on, more than 2 successes. Daddy needs a new pair of shoes. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 of which are exploding.
Oh boy.
All right.
5, which is also an exploding.
Mhm.
5 successes.
Okay.
Nice.
So you not only move through the crowd and catch up with Hannah, but like you take her, grab, kind of get into a formation and push your way back to the security, the maintenance way.
tunnel.
Yeah. You get your way there. You're able to open it up, and eventually you find the little nook under the stairwell where Frankie has balled up.
She is
Hey, Frankie.
literally like her hands are up like this, like in a ball.
I approach you from the front and tap you very lightly on the forearm and back away so I don't get punched. Hey, Frankie.
She actually doesn't lash out so much as she tries to press herself back into the wall behind her.
It's us. We're here.
Just kind of like looks up and she's staring at you, but she's not recognizing you right now.
All right, I will try to do another relief roll.
Okay, go ahead and do it.
That's my last sigh. And I got 1.
Okay, yeah. Same thing. Since you're able to actually touch her, you push your psi energy into it and push away some of the fear and the
Yep.
panic in your mind, Frankie.
Yeah, as Frankie, look, we can panic later. Right now, we should probably get moving. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
She very much so does not look like the punk rocker that she usually is. She looks very much so like the teen she is at this moment. She does not have that air of superiority or that air of just being a badass. She genuinely looks like a real person right now. But
Hey, Bram,
she
how are the shelters? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't
no,
interrupt.
go right ahead.
Oh, I was. Hey, Bram, how are the shelters where your mom is?
That one's going to be full by the time she's going to be one of the last people in. But I know of a
One's
couple more,
upstairs. Okay.
and I'll actually reach my hand out to Frankie. You want a hand up? You want me to carry you?
She takes the hand. I can walk. I'm okay now. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened.
Hey, apologize later. And yeah, I'll take them to the next nearest shelter that I know on this level.
Yeah. Yeah, the people are already starting to redirect there. And it's a matter of a couple of minutes before you get into it. And over the next few hours, you guys start to hear updates. Eventually you hear you hear the sign, like you hear an announcement that says that it's over, that the attack has been repelled, and that an emergency patch has been placed on the dome. And it becomes a wave of relief goes over Olympus as the news, and you start getting like feeds on your mini comp of people who filmed the things, like, and you guys see images of soldiers and scions fighting off this like squad of terribly deformed things that were like trying to rip their way. They were trying to destroy the dome more than anything else. So you guys hit these sort of fragmentary images of this battle of against these aberrant monsters, and people are just sort of as things are calming down. Everyone in the shelters just sort of gets into kind of the doom scrolling mode of gathering up as much information as they can as it starts to trickle in, and eventually the all clear gets sound and the shelter doors open up, and they start saying, like, tram services are coming back online, please move in an orderly fashion, please follow the emergency instructions being sent to your mini comps, and like the civil emergency services of like getting people back into their normal flows of life starts to go about. Eventually, eventually you're able to cook up with your mother again as she's coming out of the shelter, and she invites you and your two friends to come in, and she says she'll cook a meal for all of you.
Probably once systems come back online, Frankie's immediately trying to get in touch with her dad to make sure they're okay.
Yeah, you get a brief connection with your father. He says, you made it through all right?
Yeah, are you okay? Is everyone okay?
We're fine. We know how to handle this sort of thing. Everything's fine. The family's fine.
Okay.
The community is good.
Okay.
Thank God for the legions. Is all I gotta say.
I'm glad you're safe.
Good too. You stay where stay where it's safe, but you should come to family dinner tomorrow. I wanna see you.
Can I bring some friends?
Are you sure you want to bring some friends?
I mean, one's kind of my bodyguard and the other one's my bestie.
Your bodyguard being the fellow from the Vikings?
Yes. He'll be respectful.
I'm sure he'll be respectful, but why don't you let me make some calls before I give you a yes on that one.
Okay.
But I got a lot of things to do, sweetheart.
I know. Love you.
Just stay safe. We don't know if they're gonna come back soon.
Understood.
And like you even like in over the opnet connection, like that tremor of fear that you don't ever hear in your father's voice, you can hear it there.
While basically we're walking out of the shelter, she has literally wrapped her arms around one of each of yours, and she is kind of like holding you guys very close to her right now, as you guys are walking.
Yeah, you guys make it back to Bram's place, and his mother just sort of throws herself into the therapeutic act of cooking.
I ask if I can help.
You are immediately handed a cutting knife and directed to some hydroponically grown onions. They sting my eyes real bad, so why don't you take care of that one?
No problem.
But yeah, so probably Bram and Frankie are sitting at the table while the flurry of cooking activity is happening. It's a small place, so there's not a lot of room to be for privacy. So yeah.
I ask her. I make small talk with her, asking her about the recipe while we're cooking. Home cooked
She
food.
she says she's like, well, okay, you know what, we just went through hell together, and she like takes you through the recipe of the gravy.
I make sure my agent makes notes it down for later.
Yeah. But yeah, so things get calmer, get quiet, meal starts to be prepared. Um, so what's the conversation like?
It's a lot of like releasing tension. Um, and I think I think Bram is really not going to do a lot at first, but he is going to uh, kind of reach out and take Frankie's hand and say, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry we got separated. I uh, I shouldn't have let that happen, and I apologize."
Why? You don't need to apologize. It's not your fault.
No, but your safety is my responsibility, and I take my professional obligations really serious. And I let something else get in the way of that, and I'm sorry.
She kind of pauses and she reaches out, and with the hand that you're currently holding, she just kind of like reaches up and puts literally her finger to your lips, and she goes, "Bram, don't you ever apologize for being worried about your family. Family is important. In the end, that's who you got, right?
Yeah,
Don't you ever apologize to me for that. That is always the right choice. When people become part of your family, you worry about them. Family's not just what you have, it's what you make. It's okay.
okay, okay.
She just kind of squeezes his hand, um, doesn't let it go, and under the table, she literally just puts her foot against yours. No worries. I'm okay. Everyone's okay. Look, Hannah's cutting onions for the first time in years.
It was literally like this morning when I was making omelets. But yeah,
Mhm.
You kind of
onions.
look. I'm trying here, but in all serious, Bram, you're
How's your
not
dad?
just you're not just your job.
How's your dad?
Safe. Everyone's good over there. He invited me for dinner, and he's seeing if you all can come with.
Oh, that'll be funny.
So he knows about you. So I don't know. You should be flattered. As he put it, he goes, "Is that?" He goes, "Your bodyguard, huh? Is that the Vikings guy?" And I said, "Yeah, that's him." And he's like, "Oh, let me make some phone calls."
While they're having this conversation, if we're in earshot, I'll catch Sophia's eye and just kind of like glance back at them and wink at her.
She kind of like wide-eyed, kind of like nods a little bit, and she says, as she's kind of like putting the final touches on something that needs to go into the oven for a bit, and she like pulls out a big loaf of bread, and starts like pouring on like garlic and butter on it.
Yes.
She says, "It's comforting. It's comforting to have human problems. It's just, God, the fear that gripped me.
I get it.
You kids, I guess you're lucky that you haven't had to live with that all your life. I was small when the last one ended, and my father." And she brings a loaf over. And says, "My father, he lived his days out in pain because of the things that happened. You gotta
Sorry about that.
you gotta always be prepared if they're back now, and it got really bad. It got really bad." He says,
I was under the dome and saw the one 4 years ago, and that was enough for a lifetime for me. I can't imagine what y'all have gone through.
"I don't know. It's I don't remember much. My mother, she got a lot of she was kind of a of a techie person. She saved a lot of recordings from the end of the last war, um, and I've seen a lot of it, and it's they're so much worse now. Like they were so bad back then, but from what we're seeing, from all the images that we're getting, something's changed. They're she's, she's like, I've got. Are you guys? I don't know. I don't know if this would be helpful, but there's one really special one that I saved from when we had to move up. Do you guys want to see it?
If it wouldn't be too upsetting for you, I would be very interested in seeing it.
She's like, "Oh, it's scary. I mean, it's scary, but it's one of the more it's just such an important moment in history. It's she like starts fumbling, and she like goes through kind of her discs and her drawers, and pulls out a couple of discs, and she's like, this was so important. This was the day it all ended. Um, and she puts a disc in and pulls up a holo projector, and it shows an image of a building that no longer exists. The old floor of the United Nations building, where it is, clearly it has been through quite a lot. It is not like sort of the stately building of calm order. It's been like reinforced by military. Clearly, there's been some fighting that's happened in here. and you hear someone speaking on the podium about a nuclear strike on the island of Bahrain, saying that it was in response to aberrant an aberrant attack on the orbital the Omen system. And like the Chiron comes by the Omen system, nuclear capable satellites, and that the world waits in bated breath to see how the aberrant forces will respond to the Chinese ultimatum. And then behind him, in a flare of plasma, the very recognizable form of Divis Maul, who even to this day is known as the most powerful aberrant ever to walk the face of the earth, just sort of appears in a cloud of fire, grabs this person who's speaking by the back of the neck, lifts them above his head one-handedly, and looks like right into the camera, and in a fiery orange glow just incinerates the man and says, "Your legacy is our future." And then the signal cuts off. And she says, and that was it. That was the moment. They all left after that.
They just left after that?
They all left.
Oof.
Who knows what's going to make them leave this time? Well, I don't know. Maybe the Scions can do something about it. Maybe they can beat them.
I mean, they have had all that time to organize and become better at dealing with them.
But she
Can
says,
help, right?
but she says, even him, he was the worst one, and he was human looking.
Yeah, that one 4 years ago sure wasn't.
Yeah, they're not like that now. They're not like that. Something happened to him up there. Oh, I just pray to God. I just pray to God that we can live through it again. Pray to God for the Scions. They're so... I hope they are on our side.
Sure they are.
Yeah, I think if
How
today's
could
any
anyone be on
indication,
that thing's side? Sorry, what?
I was going to say if today's any indication, yeah, they did a good job.
A timer goes off, and a roast comes out of the oven, and portions get portioned out, and a home-cooked meal is had here on the moon. And that is where we're going to end it for today. Okay, oh boy. So did everyone have fun with this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were so many feelings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wanted to kind of give kind of the regular quotation marks view of like what it's like to live in this universe from time to time.
Yeah,
like
I really liked. I picked up on
Yep.
that and I loved it.
Mm-hmm. So I hope you guys had fun with that. I hope everyone out there enjoyed watching it. But let's go ahead and deal with some XP, just so we can get that squared away. I have it bookmarked this time. So, did anyone achieve a short-term aspiration for their character?
I
I did not.
believe so.
Which
One of mine was get into trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. There was trouble to be had. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna put one of mine as get Frankie out of trouble.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
for next time.
Fair enough. You can definitely shift that around. So yeah. So only one of you did that. So you don't get the every player gets their short character. Oh, excuse me. Did anyone achieve a long-term aspiration? Nope. Okay. I do believe you spent half your available momentum in a single scene, so that's another one for everybody. And I will say that we have completed a story for this particular arc of the campaign, so that means that everyone gets 3 XP for that.
Oh, sweet.
Yes.
So only the person who achieved their goal gets that particular
particular one, yes. But everyone gets one for the momentum, and then everyone gets the one for the end of a story.
So I'm getting 5 and everyone else should be getting 4.
That's right. Okay, so
Cool.
with that out of the way, let's go ahead and say, does anyone have anything they would like to plug before we end the stream?
Hmm.
All right. Yeah. Beyond Electric Dreams is still in the works. I am trying to slog my way through layout, and I'm very bad at it. So we'll see how that happens. You
If
can
you want help,
find
let me know,
Scott,
Scott.
what?
What's Beyond Electric Dreams?
Oh, sorry. Beyond Electric Dreams is the next Story Path Nexus book around which most of this campaign has been based. So it has a lot of information about youth culture, about Bang, and all sorts of little tidbits about normal young people in the Aeon universe. So look forward to that, and we'll have some fun with that. But yeah, so if you want to support the show or the channel, you can go to patreon.com/Simulacra Studios. And you can find me on Twitter at Simulacra RPGs if you want to reach out and talk about the show or the channel. I'd be happy to do so. Anybody else want to plug their social media or anything like that? Nope. All right,
I'm
cool.
retired.
All right, then we are out of here for the night. This was a fun one. See everybody in 2 weeks.
Bye, everyone.